this main event is going to be a competitive fight. And, you know, first of all, I never met Sergei before today.
Not signing.
I never met him before today, and I got to tell you, this might be the matchup between the two best-looking fighters in the game. The guy also looks like a movie star. I'll be honest, I wasn't thrilled when we made the fight. Two reasons. One is I couldn't really pronounce his name at the time, but it's Dzinziruk. But also because I know how good he is. You know, I watched about 10 of his fights, and I don't think there's a 54-pounder that can beat him. He's got the best jab I've seen out of a European fighter, maybe ever. I mean, other than Calzaghe, but his jab is tremendous. His defense is remarkable. He moves. Very difficult to beat, very difficult to look good against. There's a reason he has the gaudy record he has. There's a reason he's a world champion, and there's a reason that Sergio accepted this fight. Because Sergio, you know, Sergio's attitude is, you bring me the best. I don't want an easy fight. You bring me the best. And what we did is bring him the best available opponent in the most difficult fight out there. And congratulations on the opportunity. And congratulations for taking this kind of a challenger, because only a great champion with true confidence in himself would take a fight like this. You know, the name recognition didn't force it. You know, what got Sergei this opportunity is his ability, and his ability is tremendous. Particularly, like I said, defensively, his jab, which is a tremendous weapon. And I'm looking forward to a terrific main event and competitive main event. He is co-promoted by Gary Shaw and by Artie Palula. And I'd like to bring up Gary to speak a few words about his champion and introduce Artie.
Thank you, Lou. Most time you don't tell the truth, but when you said you really didn't want this fight, I know that's the truth. I want to thank Ross and Kerry and HBO, where the greatest fights happen, for putting on Sergei. I know that I have, with Artie, the best 154-pounder in the world. The question is, will he be the best 160-pounder in the world? I'm honored to be on the dais with you, Emmanuel, because I consider you the single best trainer that in my years of boxing since 1970 that I've been ever seen or associated with. However, I am disappointed in you today, so I thought I'd let you know. Got up here and he spoke about Andy Lee and what a great fighter he is, and how his next fight is Sergio Martinez. If you really believe that, because you're my friend, I strongly urge you, as soon as lunch is over, for you to take Andy back to the gym and start practicing for Sergei. Because I believe we're going to win the fight, for sure. Look at these two names, a manager and a fighter. Anybody want to buy a vowel? I mean, think about it. I can't even pronounce either one. But I promise you, when the fight is over, everybody will know Sergei Dzinziruk. He has a great jab. He's got great footwork. And he has tremendous defense. And it's one of those type of fights that Sergio Martinez hasn't been in. And I really believe this with the skill. There's a reason this fighter has not lost a fight in roughly 11 years, and that he's 37-0. I want to thank Samson and Lou sincerely for taking the fight. And obviously for Sergio Martinez, who's taken 4 or 5 tough fights back to back to back to back. But I do want to say something about that before I relinquish the microphone to Artie. And I do want to compliment your trainer. I think Gabriel has done a spectacular job with Sergio. And I believe that one day you will be in the Hall of Fame for the work that you've been doing with your fighters. But when I mention the fight of tough fights back to back to back to back, that's really what boxing should be about. This thing where you have your fighter has a tough fight or two tough fights, and then you need two easy fights back on television is total bullshit. And that's what's killing our sport. Fans don't want to see easy fights. When you go to work and you have a tough day, I doubt that anybody goes into their boss the next day and says, look, I worked really hard yesterday, so today I'd like an easy day. That's not what it's about. It's about the best fighting the best all the time. Sometimes those fights turn out to be barn busters. Sometimes it's not exactly what the fan thought they were getting in a fight of the two best. But that's what it should be. So I don't think that Lou needs to make, and I don't think he was making an excuse for Sergio Martinez fighting tough fights back to back to back. Because I believe that's what makes the fighter elevated, and that's what makes the fighter bigger and bigger and bigger. And I believe this fight against my fighter will make one of these two fighters into even a bigger star. Again, I thank HBO for the opportunity. I thank Sergei for allowing me to co-promote you with Artie and Harry, the management. And I can tell you that the last time Artie and I worked on a fight together, it was with Diego Corrales against Castillo. Turned out to be the fight of the decade. I hope we can offer you the same thing on March 12th. And as Diego won that fight on that great, great night, I honestly believe that Sergei will win this fight on March 12th. I thank the MGM Foxwoods for having us, Lou, for you having us here today. I'd like to present Artie Blue.